Hello there, Kathy Madaban here. Nice to be with you again today, and just really want to encourage you in this season as we go through what is just the most difficult and just confusing season for us all. Just wanted to encourage you to build your resilience muscles. I'm your resilience fitness trainer. Really grateful for all the feedback I'm getting on Irrepressible and the people who've been finding the principles, the 12 principles for a courageous, fulfilling and resilient life. Not in that order, doesn't matter what order. Glad for the feedback, glad that, you are all finding your own ways of finding your courage, finding your resilience, building life in a very different season. We're going to learn so much from this. This is going to be the year that we look back on for the rest of our life. We will talk about toilet rolls, and then we will talk about what we learned in this season. So yeah, I just wanted to pull out one of the things in the book actually that I talk about that I think might be really helpful for us in this uncertain time. It's one of my favorite chapters, and it's about being a thermostat. The chapter's called Be a Thermostat. And why would I say be a thermostat? Well, I remember a few years ago, someone said to me, Kathy, you get a choice in life. You can either be a thermostat or a thermometer. I was like, what are you talking about? They said, well, you know what a thermometer does? Not a lot. It just tells you what the temperature is. It commentates on the atmosphere. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't do anything. It just tells you what's going on in the room. That's what a thermometer does. But a thermostat is really different. So a thermostat actually sets the temperature, and the atmosphere adjusts according to what temperature the thermostat sets. I was like, I love that. I want to be a thermostat. And I love that. And then I got to thinking about the fact that we are, aren't we? We are all thermostats. And some people, when they walk into the room, they always bring a cold front with them, don't they? It's just a bit chilly, bit frosty. Other people, it's a warm front, it's kind of warmth, it's kindness. They're always warm. You just know, you can just warm your hands by them. They're lovely, good people. Other people are like on fire. They're those kind of like woohoo energizers, the people who come in with passion and energy, and the whole temperature in the room just rises again. And we all have a thermostat. Those of us who really have good self-awareness, we should be aware what thermostat setting we bring in the room with us. I think it probably depends on what day, doesn't it? For some of us, like what we're going through and how we're feeling. But there is a challenge for us here to think about our thermostat setting and to tweak it up a notch if we need to, especially at a time when the thermostat is set firmly to fear and the thermostat is set to anxiety or panic. And honestly, the more time I spend watching the news, and I'm a news junkie, I love news, I love politics, but the more time I spend watching that stuff, the more I can feel my thermostat, being set to fear and set to anxiety. And, it's not set to hope. It's not set to love. It just ends up being like you withdraw and you defend, don't you? So I think, well, how can I set the thermostat to something different, to kindness? How can I set the thermostat to well-being? How can I set the thermostat to generosity? How can I set my thermostat to those things? And how can I just tweak them up a notch? I'm never going to have a personality transplant. I can't become, things that I'm not, but I can just actually increase these things, particularly at a time where we really need to. I love years ago, someone, I think it was Craig Groeschel actually, was giving a talk and talked about the difference between the hummingbird and the vulture. And he said that the thing about the hummingbird and the vulture is that they're both birds and they both look for something all day. The hummingbird looks for nectar, looks for life, and the vulture looks for decay and death. That's what they both need in order to survive and feed themselves. One feeds on decay and death, and the other one feeds on nectar and life. And the truth is, we will find both if we look for it. If you are living at home in confinement at the moment, if you want to find things that are going to drive you around the bend, they are there to be found everywhere. My house looks like it's been burgled, like the dishwasher is not being stacked like I like it to be stacked. There is stuff you know, everywhere that is annoying. There are people breathing when I don't want to be breathed, people eating, things, you know, that wind me up. There are those things that are there, but actually there are things that are nectar, that are life. You know, looking through a photo album with my daughter yesterday that I'd never normally have time to do, you know, watching a film together, which is something we would never normally probably have time to do. There is life as well. So we need to kind of set our thermostats, and we need to set our minds on not just looking for the things that create an atmosphere of fear and create an atmosphere of negativity and create an atmosphere of frustration, but actually try, if we can, in difficult times, and I know it's hard, but just try and tweak it up a notch just towards hope and encouragement and positivity is where we can. I've got lots of work to do on this one, particularly when I get tired or anxious or fearful. My tongue can be my greatest asset and my greatest weapon as well. So we've all got stuff to do here, myself included. So how are you doing it? How are you setting the thermostat to hope where you are? How are you avoiding being a thermometer, just commentating on what's going around in you, and actually setting the atmosphere where you are? How are you focusing on life and not death? How are you trying to like create moments of joy out of what can be really moments of disappointment or even despair at the moment? So I'd love to know how you are setting the thermostat, and I will join you again for some more resilience training soon. Bye for now.